That's literally how smart people present. It's like, actually, I'm really smart. I'm autistic. I don't know what you're doing, or I can't understand you. I'm just too smart, too high IQ. Anyway, want to hear the list? Okay, here's the list. So this list is what I refer to as the list. But to put it in a way where you guys can understand it, for those of you who can't catch the drift from that, is that it's a list of people who are entitled and don't know how to do their fucking job and complain while doing it. So that is what I mean when I say the list. Is
Tomate
entitled and
metal, not
incompetent
enough
people.
shit meme music.
Hold on. We'll play that 1 second. So yeah, that's what the list is. Incompetent and entitled people, as a whole, what this occupation comes across as, or like the bad stereotypes of it. So here is, without further ado, here's the list. Nurses, because they literally leave bruises all over your arm every fucking time, despite going to school to not do that. The one thing they were taught how to do that their job requires, they don't know how to fucking do. And we all know that nurses are incompetent because they're mostly women. Moving on to number 2 is doctors. Doctors are on the list because, did you guys know that hundreds of thousands of people are killed per year because they are misprescribed something and misdiagnosed by a doctor? Well, now you do. And doctors also are always treating you, not only do they shove the wrong pills down your throat, like you'll be 13 years old and they're like, here's some steroids, bro. Which is what birth control is. It's estrogen. It's female steroids. You know what? You're 13. You're not having sex. You know what I think you need? I think you need some steroids. But when you actually need a medication, we're not going to fucking give it to you. You're going to have to beg for it. You guys don't understand. I have to beg my doctor for a fucking Singulair. Do you know what Singulair is? Montelukast? It is a medication that does not get you high in any way. You don't even feel it. It's just medication for people with asthma and allergies as a prerequisite, so I don't have to go to the ER during autumn and spring. And I have to beg them. I have to pay $150 fucking dollars to go in your office and get that prescription for what? You know I need it. You know, basically it's blackmail. You're fucking blackmailing me into paying $150 so I don't die. Like, just give me the fucking medication. You can't abuse Montelukast. There's nothing abusable about it. Why would you abuse it? You would have a better time offing yourself with some ibuprofen. But anyway, moving on. Moving on to how doctors never actually diagnose you with the proper thing or actually ever fix shit. Moving on to therapists. Now, therapists made the list just like doctors and nurses did. There's a lot of people in the medical field on this list because there's just a lot of incompetence in this area, and it's why everyone's so fucked up, I think, because it affects us as a society. Therapists never actually, similar to doctors, they never actually diagnose you with the correct thing. And when I say never, I'm being hyperbolic, obviously, but just as like a general, like, how it's perceived and how what I see goes on. It's kind of like how people perceive the police. They're like, the police are often authoritative and abusing their authority. Same kind of vibe here. So I'm not saying don't go to a doctor, don't go to a therapist, don't go to a nurse. I'm just saying, why is it that they're having such a fucking problem doing their job? Like, just do your fucking job and do it right. And therapists typically, from what I see as a stereotype, don't really do that. They never actually fix your problems. So I think therapists belong on the list, and they also misprescribe people medications all the fucking time. And actually, sometimes they prescribe medications that make people's symptoms worse. Like, oh, you prescribed me an antidepressant medication and the side effect is suicide? Wow, thank you so much. Oh, I have schizophrenia now? Well, that's cool. And I'm dependent on it and I have to keep taking it or else I'll lose my mind further? Really cool. Thanks for helping, therapists. Well, I guess that's technically a psychiatrist, but you guys get where I'm going with that. Therapists and psychiatrists are on the list. I'm interchanging them. They don't actually they often don't solve your problems. Let's put it that way. Again, if you need to go to a therapist and you feel like it helps, go to a therapist. I love therapy. But nurses, doctors, and therapists, they're entitled and don't know how to do their fucking job. They want you to kiss their ass for it, too. Next on the list is journalists. Journalists, do I even need to fucking explain why? Do I even need to explain why journalists are on the list of entitled people who don't know how to do their fucking job? Moving on. Professors. All they do is indoctrinate your children. You're paying $100,000 a year for your children to be indoctrinated into communists. That is not what they're paid for, but that's what they're doing. How about you keep your politics to yourself and do your fucking job, professors? Next on the list is waitresses. We all knew that one was coming. I talk about them a lot. Yeah, try not tipping a waitress and see what happens. You know, if you're lucky, you'll get some extra spit in your food, and they'll be entitled. Oh, why aren't you paying me for my job? Oh, yeah, I know you're not my employer, but like, excuse me? You didn't leave $100 tip? I'm a single mother. You didn't leave $100 tip? I'm in college. I need to pay $100,000 for my art degree and to become a communist, and you're not gonna tip me? I spit in your food 3 times. That saliva does not come free. So, yeah, try not tipping a waitress and see how they react. If anyone can prove that they belong on the list, it is waitresses. Easiest one to find out. And same thing also applies to DoorDash drivers. Another sect of waitresses where they never actually deliver your fucking food. You never actually, like, DoorDash is like a theoretical company. It's like good on paper, never actually applied. How many times do you guys order your food from DoorDash and actually get it? How many times? One every 4 times? That doesn't count as fucking delivery. If a heart surgeon operated on your heart and only managed to actually do his job 1 out of every 4 fucking times, he wouldn't be a very good heart surgeon, would he? So yeah, DoorDash drivers. All they fucking do is give you your food cold after the waitress spits in it. And they're like, all right, give me my $20 tip now, plus $20 in DoorDash fees, and then another $5 in taxes. Here, enjoy your small fry. Fuck you. Fuck DoorDash drivers. Funny story, one actually tried to follow me upstairs. That was really cool. My friends were in the chat when that happened. There was a uninsured individual at my door, because DoorDash does great checks on their drivers. They really do those background checks and have people working for them that they're supposed to be having. And I'm just trying to get my food, you know, hope it didn't get spit in too much on the way there. Maybe a DoorDash driver ate a couple of my fries out of my small fry that I just paid $50 for, as they do. And then, yes, that's actually happened to me. I've ordered Popeye's chicken and a chicken wing was missing. Anyway. And he comes to my door, this uninsured individual, and gives me my food. And he's giving me this weird look, like, hola, like that kind of look. And I go to turn around and walk upstairs with my food, you know, like you normally do, after he's acting weird. And by the way, when he got there, he almost left with my food. He was about to not deliver it. He marked it as delivered in the fucking app. And then he proceeded to try to bicycle away with my food. Okay, so after he sees me come down, he's like, oh, well, sorry, let me get off my bike and actually give you your fucking food. I open the door, I take it, he gives me a weird look, like he's eye-fucking me, and made me really uncomfortable. And so I immediately took the food just as fast as I could and tried to go upstairs. And when I go to turn around, I didn't hear my door close. So I'm like, and I just felt like a rock in my stomach drop. It's like, no, he fucking didn't. And I turn around and he's holding my door. That locks automatically when it closes, by the way. He's holding my door open in New York, where this type of shit always happens. And he's like, good night, señorita, good night. Oh my God. I literally thought I was going to get raped. I was on the phone with my friends while I was getting my food, actually, just in case something like this happens. I keep my ear pod in. And my signal started breaking up right as that happened. I'm like, you guys hear me? And they're like, what? We can't hear you. And yeah, he held the door open, like wouldn't let it close. And had I not turned around and because I didn't hear my door close, I was smart enough to hear that and realize what that meant. Maybe he would have followed me upstairs and delivered me some dick too with it for free. Yeah, they won't deliver you some food, but DoorDash drivers will sure as hell deliver you some dick. Anyway, they're basically entitled, never do their job. Your food's, you're lucky if you even get your food in one piece, if they didn't eat some of it, and it's always cold, and they expect you to tip them like $5 or more, usually more like $8 after you just paid $8 in fucking DoorDash fees. So yeah, fuck DoorDash drivers. DoorDash does not vet their drivers at all, and it's dangerous for women to order from them. Just gonna put that out there. And yes, I did report it, and yes, I did call them and contact them over and over and over, and no, they never followed up with me if they fired the guy. Thanks, DoorDash. Anyway, next on the list of entitled people who don't know how to do their fucking job is judges. I think that should be a given. Now, I think that there's just been a lot of cases where judges don't know what the fuck they're doing, and they set all these precedents of shit that's allowed, and it just seems like they are slowly taking our rights away, literally, in the most basic sense of our amendments, such as the right to bear arms and freedom of speech. And they don't really care to take cases, just in general, the justice system, not just judges in particular. For example, Lauren Southern tried to sue Patreon, and they refused to even look at her case, despite the fact that Patreon took her money away for no fucking good reason, and it violated their own terms of service or whatever. She had a video on it. So that's a good example. And they tend to not rule things in our favor that should be ruled in our favor, that are protected by our rights. So yeah, judges are on the list. The next people that are on the list are politicians. Politicians belong on the list of people who are entitled and don't know how to do their fucking job. And I think we can all recognize this. Like, if we all just agreed on one occupation that goes on this list, no matter what side of politics you're on, funnily enough, it would be politicians. We all know they're full of shit and they just pocket everything, and they have no incentive to actually serve us. Their only incentive is money. It's not like they're a king and they're raised from birth on how to care for their country. No, they don't give a shit. So, and they tend to be sociopaths, because sociopaths are really good at social climbing because they're charming, even though they don't give a fuck about you. So, yeah, politicians, they definitely go on the list. They're why we are where we are right now. I'd be able to say a lot more about them on YouTube if they didn't fuck everything up. So I actually have to censor myself because of these said politicians and judges. Example with the judges thing, Twitter censorship and allowing Twitter to have CP on their website, allegedly. And, that's A-okay. Companies can just bend us over and fuck us in our ass thanks to the judges and politicians. Let's give them a big round of applause. Woo! It affects my job too. And the last people on the list of entitled people who don't know how to do their fucking job is influencers, meaning specifically, not just Instagram models. Imagine you take a photo of yourself and you call yourself a model. I'm a model because I'm pretty enough to be, but these other girls, I don't know about them. Anyway, I'm talking about YouTubers and streamers. And yes, I am a YouTuber streamer, and I do think they belong on the list. They have caused absolute destruction of our society. They just shill and use their influence for anything that they're paid for. In any narrative that rich companies have, they'll pay them to normalize it, make it okay, and say it. They've generally, as a whole, influencers have promoted degeneracy, and they've really ruined the self-esteem of the youth and have brainwashed them. And similar to the professors with the Marxism brainwashing, the communist brainwashing, similar. Similar thing here. So yeah, they ruined everyone's perception of beauty, and in general kind of destroyed the concept of real beauty into this disgusting fake bullshit, and kind of help neutering the internet as a whole. They kind of single-handedly ruined the internet. YouTubers and streamers, fuck them. Sincerely, fuck them. Yes, I have a little self-hatred. I didn't choose this job because I wanted it, because I wanted the status and glamour of it. I chose it because I was orphaned and had no money and had nobody to live with. So, and I guess I got lucky. So yeah, I don't like YouTubers and streamers as a whole. So I think they belong on the list. So that goes to show that, you know, I may say they belong on the list, but it doesn't mean I hate every single one of them. I just think that as a whole, that they don't know how to do their fucking job, complain while doing it, and they're super entitled and obnoxious in one way or the other. So that's my list. I hope you guys liked it. And let me know if it resonates with you as well, and if there's anybody that I forgot to put on the list. And honorable mention police, because they do go on power trips, but at the same time some of them are helpful, but you know, you could say that about anyone on the list. So honorary mention police. Entitled, they go on power trips, and a lot of them don't know how to do their fucking job. So yeah, let me know what you guys think of that list. Okay, I'm done. You can leave now. Bye.